The traveler is screaming for help, a new speaker masked to hear its voice. How Cayde is alive and how the Great Ahamkara Hunt continues inside the traveler. Today we discuss these mysteries. In case you missed it, this week we had a final mission for Season of the Wish. A mission in the Black Garden and a new cutscene with Crow and Cayde. Crow is seen falling from the portal entering the new realm and the two begin to fight. As Cayde is about to pull the trigger, a blast of light emits from the Witness's monolith in the distance. We've seen this exact blast of light in the past. The end of the Red War, it expelled Gaul and would ping throughout space. During arrivals, it halted the ships from coming any further, and even Cayde's ghost Sundance's death.
Help me out here, little buddy.
So the Witness needed the light, needed the pale heart of the traveler to achieve the final shape. It's been in here for a year of in-game time story-wise. Maybe time works differently inside the traveler, but the Witness has had time to influence its creation here given the crazy dark environments and monolith focal point in the distance. Its goal could be the light, or something far worse. The traveler has been very mysterious since Destiny's creation, who knows what the heck awaits inside. Amaru said this in Season of the Witch.
Your ghost said the traveler's been quiet lately. That's not exactly true. I think he's sparing you the details. The Witness is doing something terrible to it. I can sense it in my light. Listen, imagine your god spoke to you, and all it did was scream for help. Yeah, it's kinda like that.
Not only did we hear the traveler was infected with darkness back in Witch Queen, was a shell according to Zavala in Lightfall, now it's screaming for help. During the light blast, you can also make out a sound. Some have said this sounds like a scream, a roar from an Ahamkara, or maybe some struggled breathing and wheezing. Give it a listen. The Ahamkara do exist in this realm, and the Witness is messing with the traveler and the light, so leave your thoughts down below. What the heck do you think is going on? We've talked about this next topic before, but it makes more sense now that we have the new cutscene. A big question in everybody's mind since the final shape's reveal is, how does Cayde 6 exist? How is he back to life? The quest reward was an exotic ship called Unforeseen Consequences, whose lore says this. He remembers his sister's throne differently, an amalgam of Elixni Flotsam built from the spoils of war, its great weight suspended from the rafters. A throne Aldrin set ablaze in the wake of losing her, his first step down a forsaken path. Crow lays his hand on the throne before him. It is empty and ponderous, silhouetted by distant nebulae and cosmic dust. It feels smooth, too smooth. It was here that I first heard the news of your death, calls a familiar voice behind him. He turns to see his sister striding down the hall. Mara takes her place beside him and gazes out into the far reaches of space. Did you mourn for me? Crow asks. I did, his sister replies. She is silent for a moment. And I regret what I did to you. The manipulation, the subtle coercion. None of it went the way I intended. Crow follows her gaze out into the endless void. I know what that's like. Remorse and recriminations, Mara says absently. She turns her eyes toward him. If you could go back after the course of your history, what would you change? He can't help but laugh. Where to begin? Crow muses with a smirk. It fades soon enough. Cayde, he whispers. Mara raises an eyebrow. Oh. Before then, I could have taken a different road, but once I pulled that trigger, he shakes his head. Everything else I can set right, but not that. I just wish I could tell him I shouldn't have done it. I see, Mara murmurs, her eyes shine in the starlight. Crow sighs and rolls his shoulders back. I should get going. Vanguard's waiting on my report. We all have obligations, I suppose. Don't I know it? Crow nods as he heads down the hall. He pauses at the portal to the dreaming city and glances back at Mara. Ringed by the distant nebulae, she shimmers like a mirage in desert sands, and then Crow is gone. See you soon. Mara's voice echoes across the empty chamber as the illusion fades. Oh, brother mine. So from this card, it's implied that Crow made a wish, and this is why Cayde exists. There could be more to it, some paracausal traveler space magic, but we'll have to wait and see. In trailers and screenshots, we see other ghosts next to their guardian, like Crow, but Sundance, Cayde's ghost, is nowhere to be seen. Sundance was destroyed and forsaken, but I feel like if there was some type of afterlife possibility inside here, that she would be back too. But a big thing to note is that Ahamkara in Season of the Wish and even in the final shape may have a bigger part to play than we realized. This past week, 3 new exotics were revealed for the expansion. We don't know what these specific ones do yet, but we have some images and descriptions of some lore. This first one is the Balance of Power Hunter Boots. These look kinda Ahamkara themed with some tech infused around them. It says, into the traveler the hunt continues. The next exotic is Wishful Ignorance Titan Gauntlets, or arms. Every enemy of the Vanguard had a plan until... The description of those two may answer the question. The hunt continues inside the Traveler, assuming the hunt is tied to Ahamkara. The third exotic is called Speaker's Sight, and it's a Warlock helmet. Study the voice, gaze into the heart. This is literally a mask like the Speaker wore. The study the voice is an interesting line. We know the Speaker from Constellation's lorebook was able to hear the Traveler's thoughts and dreams. The Traveler communicated its nature as a benevolent and sentient being with its own dreams, hopes, and fears. The Speaker received visions of the Traveler's power to shape and terraform worlds. Prophetic visions like cataclysmic events like the collapse, and even similar messages to what might be happening now. In that lorebook, the Traveler seemed to be in distress at some moments, communicating through torrents of sharp static images and waking nightmares. Overall though, we learned the Traveler was a good sentient being that could think on its own. It was its own entity, and the Speaker through this mask was able to hear it, or rather the mask helped the Speaker hear his dreams more clearly. So not sure if this mask gameplay wise will have the same type of effect, allow you to hear voices inside from the Traveler. It could just be a cool mask, or maybe hint at what happens in the new destination. We heard a voice in the trailer that many speculate could be the Traveler itself, or an entity tied to it.
Take this power, Guardian. Be brave in dark places, for we are the light of hope.
Anyway, Guardians, that's all we got for today's video. Some mysteries involving the final shape. A new speaker mask, how Cayde is alive and the Ahamkara tied to it, and the witness messing with the Traveler's light as it screams for help. If you'd like to see some more Destiny lore mysteries just like this video, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video.